guys, how's it going? We are starting very late today. I just ended up being busy with some stuff IRL. Couldn't make it at my usual time. But we're here now, and that's the important thing. So last time, we believe we cleared up pretty much all we had to do in Driftwood. West through Wrecker's Cove. Or we could head east into Stone Garden. Alrighty.
Your fish stinks of the VoD. What kind
Should
of
probably go get our source back. Since we apparently don't have any right now. Don't remember what I used on. There we go. Inventory is fine.
How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Not sure why that's visible to me.
Keeping it together, Bree? I'm alright, as long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among
Oh, of course, there's the trolls. That are blocking the entrance. Or guarding the bridges as well. We're gonna have to deal with.
This must be the place Lohse mentioned. It looks unassuming enough.
Of course, there's this as well. Forgot about that.
The dwarf is unnaturally still. You might mistake her for a corpse, were it not for a slight twitch of her eyelids. She slowly opens her left eye, then her right, and wipes away the slobber.
What's it to you, slow wit?
The dwarf unfolds her arms and shoots to her feet.
All right, human. Right, glad Lohse ain't left us here to wither. Those brutes are taking their sweet time down there. I gotta send word soon. Who knows? Anything that gives away what Mordus has been up to. Probably got all sorts of tricks for covering his tracks, but the goons downstairs should sniff out something. That weird priest's been hanging around Lohse for ages. Now he's vanished. Those half-wits below will know more. Get to it then. But tell the lunkheads that Glenna sent you before they bash your brains in.
Maybe if we had a crowbar.
You think a crowbar would open this thing?
I found
You
something.
got rocks knocking around that noggin of yours.
I've spotted something.
Oh yeah, there's that. I think we get the I4 later, like in Wrecker's Cove or something, but you can just lockpick it if you've got high enough thievery. Prince should have enough.
More luck asking Tuna to open it
There we go. The door's
by
open.
her own hands.
By Duna's dagger. You here to free us or kill us?
You're not getting an answer till you keep your hands free of wands and such.
Good to see you'd rather flap your lips than fight. We're here looking for a slippery snake called Mordus. This here's his quarters, but ain't no sign of him.
Only thing we managed were to close that door behind us and get us stuck. Supposed to be another door out there, but never could find it.
Ain't no telling where that priest went off to. Started acting all funny not so long ago, then flew the coop. Well, at first, he was just buddying around with Lohse and the rest, you know. But then he'd start looking all sickly and run off for a day or two. Then some stranger tried taking old Lohse down, but got himself caught and tied up. Ain't no coincidence Mordus went hanging around then.
She taps a finger against her forehead.
A woman knows things. Nothing's getting past me. Best we head off then. We've got business to attend to.
Oh, you guys have fun with your business. Got stuff to loot. And lock the door.
Careful. Spotted a trap.
Well, this won't do. If I can get stuck, then I can get unstuck.
Should probably just keep spare vision on. Always forget about that.
Lohse will want to know of this.
on this statue, right?
The shrine depicts Duna, yet has clearly seen better days. Scratches and fissures deface its exterior, and its eyes have been gouged hollow. You run your hands along the exterior until your fingers graze the button noted in the schematic. There's no mistaking the sound of stone chafing stone. The entrance...
Nice.
Easy.
Seems like I've got a real talent for this.
Oh, yeah.
This won't be of any use.
Okay. How was it? I did this again. That would be here. And here, right? Yeah. With it so far. Damn it. Low strength is a nightmare. I think I've already messed this up. Alright, Prince, please, fuck off. Oh, okay. That was it. So I did. Alright, yeah. I got that pretty quickly. I just had that there, and then those one over. Really? You again?
You see an undead figure chained to a torture rack, bones glowing a sickly green, as if lit from within. It raises its head to look at you before lowering it again, exhausted from the effort.
Please, release me.
The creature's eyes roll in your direction. Its gasps grow more urgent. The creature's whine turns to a roar. The room reverberates as it shouts forth its own name.
I am Zash. The lights may not illuminates me, yet in darkness I cannot hide.
The beast goes silent and looks toward the nearby panel.
Mordus, the priest, not what he claims to be. Without me, he is nothing. A worm, a grub. He doesn't draw upon his own strength, his own source. With this contraption, he draws upon mine. Free me. Release me from Mordus' torture. Not dead, yet not alive.
It goes silent, save a slight wheeze with every rise and fall of its bony chest. The skeleton ekes out a crackling moan.
The panel. 7 bless you. Be wary. The urns will shatter. The bones will rise.
The creature murmurs a series of noises, vague but not quite unintelligible. Its head leisurely lolls towards you in response.
Freedom! A single touch of the second from left. My freedom and theirs.
The creature is quiet once more, save its constant wheeze.
Let's put you up here. Oh yeah, I see the little whirls around. Be up here. Boop.
Free at last! I will take what I will be. Mordus minions, leave me be, parasites.
Okay, yeah. Alright, that guy's frozen. Let's hop up and deal with this pyromancer quickly. Your range of touch spells aren't you? Yep, but
I'm ready.
oh, come on. Oh, damn it. You know what? You live over there now.
All yield to none.
a weird way of going about that, but sure. Stop that. Please stop that.
Hurts, doesn't it? I'm ready. I'm ready.
That works, I suppose. Really? You're not dead?
Glory is mine.
Oh, I'm being blinded.
I'll yield to none.
You know what? Just take the turn off. It's fine.
Freedom! About time!
Oh god
too.
damn it. Don't talk to
I
him.
can't tell you how long more
The creature harumphs.
you free the master of the magical arts. For that, I'll leave you alive and untasted. For demolishing Mordus's minions, I'll give you a skill book of your choice. Choose your subject.
What if I don't want any of those?
I offer you life and learning And you're still begging for more? You're wasting my time. Here, just take a book. Its wisdom might do you some good. Speaking of which, allow me to share some wisdom of my own.
The undead creature bears 2 rows of broken, cratered teeth.
Stay out of my way. Curse you, Mortis, and curse your blasted machine.
Go ahead.
We had something to talk about for a moment before he... Okay.
Nice.
What's on your mind?
How much strength do I have? 13. I guess that's enough for these. So wait, how was it? Rune frames worked again. So rune frames of power, and then mystical rune frames, and they will have. They'll give different bonuses to runes, depending which ones you use. It's always better to use them in giant runes as well, because frames cannot be separated from the runes again. So let's see, what do we use? Like the flame runes and the amulets, because they give crit chance. Although thunder for Lohse isn't the worst idea because that gives dodging. So we made a flame rune power, it would give 3 intelligence. If we made with mystical frame, it'd give extra pyrokinetic. Okay, so flame runes with mystical rune frame. Fire rune will give ranged huntsman or pyrokinetic. thunder. I could get an extra Aerothurge and a necklace. Oh. Mystical Giant Masterwork Rune gives extra 3 memory. That might not be the worst thing. But that gives maximum magic armor. Is it straight? Alright, now power. Strength, don't care about. Finesse, strength. Finesse. Okay, Frost Rune of Power gives intelligence. Actually, do they all? Okay, Frost and Flame give intelligence, but Thunder gives finesse. Finesse I don't care about. So that's Thunder, Mystical Thunder Rune. Yeah, that's dual wielding there. Don't care about dual wielding in Lohse. But Frost gives single-handed. That's annoying. If they were swapped, it'd be perfect. So I think aside from the Thunder Runes, I pretty much just want to use Frames of Power then. The extra intelligence. Yeah, that works for me. Do I have any giant runes currently? No, I don't. I think large is the best I've got at the moment. Yeah. But once I start getting superior pixie dust and whatnot. Also these books, I'm assuming. Okay, so I don't actually need them, I suppose. Because I'd imagine if holding on to the books was necessary for the quest, it wouldn't let me add them to wares.
Oh, under lock and key.
Just open the damn door.
Impressive. They'll say the spirit of the one stronger in you than anyone else I've seen. Even Murga.
gonna keep hold of that because it has persuasion. I do like having a lucky charm when it works, but it's not super necessary, so... And I don't need finesse at all. So yeah, just give me that for the extra persuasion. Can't sell it.
Impressive. They'll see the spirit of the one stronger in you than anyone else I've seen. Even Murga.
Better get out there before Mordus makes it all the way past Arks. All right? Whatever needs to... That's right. Lost one of my best lads, Anhart. Let's... Bloody lad. Flap we will, once the red...
Think those fingers of yours will ever heal?
That's a lot of blood.
Didn't I tell...
I'm big.
Oh, please don't tell me.
Why you gotta make us hurt you?
Impressive. They'll see the spirit of the one stronger in you than anyone else I've seen. Even Murga.
Hope it didn't let me add them to wares if they were necessary. Usually it's pretty good for marking things as unsellable.
Better get out there before Mordus makes it
Oh
all the way
my
past
God.
Arks.
So I did need it, but they let me sell it.
I asked you for a man, not a note.
He takes the letter from your hands and reads it quickly, face hardening with anger as he reaches the end.
Bloody goddamn spit-sucking weasel! This is bad. Not just for me and mine. Not just for you and yours. This is bad. For everyone. Hell if I know, but it don't sound good. Seems as though Mordus wasn't mine after all. Trouble is, I don't know whose he is. Of course. That's why I haven't heard from the cave. Sabotage. Listen up, I need your help. We all do. Mordus has his hands on something dangerous. Something I was trying to protect us from. Not just my folks. The whole damn realm. Look, me and mine, we move classified cargo. Take it right off Magister ships and put it into the hands of those that will use it rightly. Trouble is, we came across something no one ought to have. Not the Magisters, not my folks, not the gods themselves. I ordered it to be destroyed. I guess Mordus, whoever he's working for, wants it for themselves. That can't happen. The less you know, the better. Trust me. Stop Mordus and I'll take care of the rest. My people had an operation up in the caves outside town. Good access to red ships and plenty of privacy too. Haven't heard from them in a couple of days now. I thought maybe we'd lost the messengers to Voidwoken in the hills, but now I think it's worse than I thought. I bet my lucky left foot Mordus is in the cave. You gotta get to him before he gets his hands on that cargo. Pray to whoever you pray to that it ain't too late. Finally, someone with a little sense around here. Give me your map. I'll show you where we were operating, where I think Mordus will be. I don't want to know what'll happen if he gets what he's after.
Looking rough now.
Okay, so now I can sell these ones, right? Shouldn't need.
Lohse rubs his forehead beneath his hood and stares at the ground. As you approach, his face hardens and he stands at his full height.
So? All right.
Smells worse over here than it does at home.
Alright, now we've cleared up everything currently available in Driftwood. I believe. Oh yeah, there's the... That's on the other side, isn't it? Guy that lost his wife's ring. Yeah, he's over there. Whoops. I forgot you guys hang out there now.
Glory is mine.
Oh, the one behind the rock wasn't actually part of this fight to start with.
Worms take you. Dead. Bled dry. Did the creature in the cellar do this?
Once Magister, now lost soul. He swivels his head, getting his bearings. He sees you and moves to speak, but no sound emerges. The stench of the Magister's corpse dissipates. It's replaced with another scent, equally noxious, breath. The stink fills you, then pauses, then fills you again. Then the roar comes. Your skull rattles as the mouth of this breath creature engulfs your face. The foul odor is pushed from your lungs by a torrent of blood, then replaced by a gust of fresh air. You take a cleansing breath and look to the unnerved spirit. He points his forefinger at his chest, then back at you. The spirit looks at its own corpse, then at you. Its horrified eyes plead with you for answers. All goes black the moment your hand reaches the ghostly Magister. You see nothing, hear nothing, for your senses are overwhelmed by the pain of razors slicing through your flesh. One chunk of meat after another is ripped from you until there's only organ and entrail remaining. Yet you still feel tooth and claw as they skate across your bones. And the pain is released. You touch your arms, your belly, your head, relieved that you are still intact.
Wonder if I can. Nope. Yep, 290 is still fine for health potions.
A fisherman stares at the water, muttering to himself.
The missus will kill me. She'll tear me a new mouth halfway down my neck.
You see nothing.
I've gone and thrown my wedding ring in the water.
He gives you a sorrowful look.
My wife's dead, buddy.
Oh, that's so mean.
He looks at you disapprovingly, but can't keep a straight face.
I'm pulling your leg. She's fine.
Oh.
She'll be bloody
Oh,
furious
yeah.
if I don't get that ring back, though. I was casting a line and I cast me bloody wedding ring instead. Guess my fingers aren't as fat as they used to be.
He contrives to give you a sad look.
The wife's got a sentimental attachment to that ring. Her mum took it off her dad's drowned body, here, on this very beach.
A mischievous grin appears upon his face.
Ah, I'm joshing ya. Scammed it off a drunken elf in the tavern a few years back. But still, the wife will be furious. I could do that, I could. But seeing as the ring has a bit of sauce to it, like as not, going in there will attract Voidwoken. All things equal, between an angry wife and Voidwoken, I'm leaning towards the wife.
He squints, first at you, then at the water.
You looking to meet a Voidwoken, are you? You must have a high opinion of yourself in a fight, or you wouldn't be so eager.
He gives you a strange look, then turns away.
With you around, I don't think I'll take the risk. I'll have to face herself in all her wrath. Better get fishing. A bit of gold for dinner at the tavern might soften the blow. You're back, and you're still alive. Well done, man. Well done. You'll help if you can, I suppose.
What's this? I found something.
Fishy, fishy, fishy.
No complete immunities to anything. Don't do that. Oh god. To hurt myself a little bit here. I want to hit all these guys.
I'm ready.
You're all being really rather rude. Oh, he just froze himself. God damn it. Red Prince doesn't get turns. He really doesn't get turns. Oh god, this is potentially incredibly bad. no. Well, at least that one's doing nothing. If he was actually hitting the Red Prince, we might just be dead. We still might just be dead. Wait, is that one taking damage every turn? If it is, we're sorted. Hell yeah. Got this.
I'm ready.
Oh, there's a ladder at the back. Wait, I could have just walked across here?
A horrified fisherman stares at the water, muttering to himself.
That was terrifying. I need to get myself a new line of work. Something as far away from the water as I can go. Goat herd, high on a mountain. Spice trader in the deserts. Anything but this. If the missus will go for it, of course. She likes the beach. You found it! How wonderful! The wife will be thrilled. Or she would if she ever found out about this, which of course she won't. I can't thank you enough.
He slips the ring onto his finger, where it dangles loose.
I feel better already. Need to fatten myself up again so I don't lose it a second time. Can't be relying on the kindness of strangers to dig me out. The very best to you. I wish you well.
With a new confidence in his stance, he turns back to his fishing.
Thanks again, stranger.
Is there any use for the old coin? So my first playthrough, picking that up prompted Ethan to talk to Beast a little bit as past, but I don't think I ever found anything to do with it. Alright, I guess there's no use for it. I mean, I'll hold on to it just because, but... Should probably go up and talk to the Lich. Send him away. Where can I send this that will be in the way? Over there, I guess.
It smells like blood and death. I wonder what I've stumbled upon.
Oh, that's
We're
just the
getting
blood
close.
trail.
Garvin said the attack happened somewhere around here.
The cargo ought to be nearby.
Why not think big? Back off, pigeon!
The enormous...
Didn't hear me the
Yeah.
first time.
He smiles a jagged and magnanimous grin. Each pitchfork pointed tooth
Okay, I'll listen
seems
to
to threaten you individually.
We'll see. You want to cross my bridge? Look at this wreck. No taxpayer coin has touched it in a hot century.
He kicks the edge of the bridge, sending a sizable chunk of rock flying perilously close to your eye.
I'm the only thing standing between this bridge and the void. These days, everything is in decline. Well, I killed them. Nobody crosses my bridge for free, and they didn't pay the toll. Mind you, they hadn't tongues to bargain with, nor pockets for coin. But still, a troll must stand by his principles.
He rubs his leathery hands together with...
Sure, and I don't want to hear any whiny little baby noises about it either.
I'm so tempted to cry just like a whiny little baby. Let's persuade him.
Well, just for you, a discount of 1 gold piece. Pay up, cuckoo!
His eyes narrow to glinting slits, and a deep laugh shakes his whole frame.
There is one thing, the competition. Take out my competition, and I could waive the usual fee. A little magpie feather named Mog. He's not fit to be a bridge keeper. He took over the other bridge across, and he's too cheap. I can't compete with his ridiculous prices.
That's a little non-committal, but I'll take what I can get around here.
Grog drags a rough map in the dust of the bridge with one claw. He then spends an inordinate amount of time sketching a highly vulgar doodle of this Marge he wants you to take care of.
There. Now, for the moment,
Oh god.
Doesn't it? Glory is mine.
Where you hiding, Daddy's boy? Where you hiding? Voidwalken? Voidwalken did not eat of my flesh. Voidwalken did not betray me, it were him. My boy, my Garvin. I want his head in my hands. I want his head in the dirt, sticky with worms, picked to the bones by buzzards. Bring it to me, head of the dog, Garvin, Garvin! Spoiled like green milk, like a stinking egg. His hands were bigger than his head. He wanted and wanted, but didn't know enough. Never enough. He'll got the business, same as he did me. rat, pig, dog. Find him. Feel his heart. Squeeze it dry. Squeeze it dead. Bring the head. Bring the head.
This must be Garvin's mentor, buried in a shallow grave. Poor fellow.
Let's go back and deal with this.
Hear ye! Hear ye! Bishop Alexander was slain by Satan!
I'm telling you, if they got nothing to hide, they got nothing to be scared of.
So, what's the word? Ah, my poor mentor, lost to the wilds, I regret to inform you. Take it from me. Avoid the open country around here. The void-woken are not to be trifled with.
He looks at you with his brow knitted, lips pursed, pain painted mask-like upon his face.
What a loathsome thing to say to one mourning the loss of his finest friend and mentor. Good day. Very good. Now, if there's nothing else... Oh, my sweet, how I've missed you. Oh, how sweet it is to have you in my arms once more, safe and sound, right where you belong. As for you, my very handy friend, we have a score to settle, haven't we? Here, your reward. Don't spend it all in one place. Now, if you'll excuse us...
When the mornings are darkest, and my regrets toll the punishing bell, the world ate my soul.
Ah, hello, my friend. I'm so relieved now that my always. I haven't forgotten what I've heard about the chef's very kind of you. I'd love some.
He inhales deeply over the stew, savouring the scent of it, then scoops up a large chunk of meat and swallows it down, seemingly without chewing. He pauses expectantly, then frowns.
Rather disappointing, isn't it? This must be a bad batch. I've heard such interesting things about the kitchen here. Oh, alas. Certainly. The last taste I had lacked... Ah, hello. Certainly. Another bowl. And it does smell terribly...
He dips a spoon into the bowl, and his eyes go wide, and his brows furrow.
Delicious. Not to mention illuminating. Thank you. Ah, hello. Normally, I've a hollow... No, thank you, but no, I'm fully fit to burst. Normally, I've a hollow... I believe we've already said everything.
No, an empty belly is an empty
Ah,
belly.
hello, Normally, I've a hollow leg. But I'm afraid I couldn't swallow another morsel unless it were particularly worth...
Do I need to go make some more tainted stew?
Back again, eh? Looking for anything in particular? Suit yourself.
You're safe among friends. Never forget. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree.
In a small country valley, after the grain harvest failed, there was little to sing about in the poor village of Dark Vale. Roll up!
Ah, hello. Normally, I've a hollow.
There we go.
But I'm afraid I couldn't swallow another morsel unless it were particularly worth my while. I suppose one more bowl won't do us any harm. It smells truly divine. and different somehow. Perhaps a special mixture from the house?
Garvin tastes the stew, then begins spooning it into his mouth. He sighs with pleasure. His eyes go wide.
Oh no. Oh no. 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 Something isn't right. I need to go. Move. I don't feel so well. Go away. Goddamn dead Go away. What was in that stew you gave me? I swear if I could. If I weren't. Odds. I haven't the energy for this. You want to know the truth? The old man was a fraud. Always hinting that he had an amazing stash hidden away somewhere. But you know what I found when I tasted his flesh? Nothing.
His intestines threaten you both with a high squeal.
You had to push me, didn't you? This is gonna be messy. Mistake.
Hurts, doesn't it?
But my head hurts. But my head hurts.
Oh, please, Lucian, spare me.
I'll go over here and talk to Marge, and then on the way back, can deal with Troll.
The spirit doesn't register your presence at all. She wrings her hand as she looks down on her poor, crushed corpse.
Should have paid. Should have paid. Always pay. Mama said, can't fool a troll. Got to pay the troll. Always pay. Should have paid.
Oh, hello there. A fine day it is, and the finest day for a wee saunter through the trees it is too. Not even any voidwoken left to spoil it. Isn't a healthy business environment just wonderful? Grog and his pathetic bridge give me just the little kick of competition I need to improve my service. And increase my prices.
Marge bats his eyelashes at you. You can't quite tell whether he's serious or not.
What? After all we've been through together? Truly, who has the finer bridge here? You should be working on eliminating the weakest link. Which, in case it isn't crystal clear, is Grog. Well, good. If you're not a paying customer, I'm afraid I'll have to ask you to leave.
very weak to fire, unfortunately. That's not going to do as much good as long as I don't use poison. Everything else will at least still do damage.
Ridiculous. Back so soon? I said get rid of him! Kill him! Kill him! Now! Traitor! Turncoat! Tattletale!
He smirks as he raises tree trunk-sized arm.
Keep it up, puny fleshbag. Your blows mean nothing to me.
Wow, this is doing almost nothing.
I'll yield to none.
He's healing far more than I could hope to. Maybe I'm still a little early for this.
None.
What? What?
I really should come back after I've got a couple more level ups. I'll have one more go at beating him now. But I definitely have to keep him burning, because his regen heals him far more than I'm able to keep up with. Unfortunately, it just makes the Red Prince mostly useless.
Back so soon? I said kill him straight.
He smirks as he raises...
How about you back up? Back off, pigeon!
The enormous...
Didn't hear me?
Tell you what I'll do.
Keep it up, puny flesh bag. Your blows mean nothing to me.
Wait, are you stunned or just shocked? Oh no. I could have gone horrifically wrong. He's immune to decay. Well shit, there goes my plan. I definitely can't kill him at this level then. Once I hit level like 13, 14, I should be able to come back and take him out.
Where is his head? Where is his heart? Speak! Dead, rot taken. Buzzards use him for a latrine. His head, I want to look into his eyes. My boy is dead. My boy is dead. The snake.
He takes the head in his hands and gazes into its lifeless eyes. He tenderly strokes Garvin's head, and a sad smile crosses his lips.
May maggots bugger you for all time, my dear boy. You, get that map of yours on hand. I've got a little something for you. Garvin took nearly everything from me, but not nearly enough. I'll show you where to look. I feel the pull of the hall. It's my time at last. Gods, I hope I'll meet my boy again. Maybe I'll get to look him in the eye when I take his head from him again and again and again.
Up this way, go to get Lich. Yeah, here it is.
The creature devours the corpses as a vulture devours carrion, stopping only as you approach.
I have my freedom. You have your reward. Do you not recall my warning? He drained me. Let me feed. Oh, I cannot control the hunger.
It raises a handful of viscera to its mouth, then pauses, sensing your gaze.
Keep distant, mortal. When the craving ends, when my freedom is secured, I will again see you rewarded. In life, I was a wizard, as close to Amadia as a kitten to its mother. In undeath, I am a lich. Source streams through my bones like blood through veins. I think that's for the best, don't you?
Blood sprays from the victim's flesh like lava from a volcano. You turn away. The beast gorges on its meal. A sleuth of bears would make less of a bloody mess.
Well, look at you, all noble. I can't promise that your sacrifice will fill my belly, but if it sates me, I won't seek more.
It reaches out with its brittle fingers, and you hesitantly offer your hand. In an instant that feels like an eon, your source flows into the famished creature.
Oh, refreshed and refilled. Oh, you won't need to worry about your precious innocence anymore. Join me at my reliquary. I will take my soul. You will take what remains.
Alright, sent the lich off.
Something doesn't feel right.
Creeping little flies.
The power recoils from your attack. It clearly wasn't expecting any resistance. You can feel it trying to maintain control on the dwarves' minds, but it's slipping. The eyes of the dwarves, once a solid black, clear for a moment. They look about in confusion, in panic, and then race for the bushes.
To say I told you so. Whatever happened here, it was a massacre.
I swear, I should have expected nothing less. They wander across a tragedy, and how do they spend their time? Gawking at the dead like they're nothing more than a sack of cloth and flesh to be looted. Bloody parasite. Wait, can you see me? Elves, teeth. How'd you manage that?
The dwarf's eyes narrow, and he squares his shoulders. His hand seems to instinctively drop to his waist.
That a fact. And here I thought our darling Bishop Alexander was the only one. So God-woken and powerful, eh? Powerful enough to control minds? To force brothers to draw steel against each other? Well, someone out there can. As sure as the sea's wet. We were doing some work round these parts. Smuggling, stealing, removing the odd witness. You know, bread and butter stuff. We were sitting here, eating, drinking, telling tales. When some of the lads, their eyes turned black as pitch. Next thing I know, my best mate's buried his dagger in my gut. And there's void woken everywhere you look. Them that didn't die were carried off to the cave. Might be I was the lucky one, lying there, bleeding out. Was the day I'd have to cut you just for asking. Don't suppose it makes much of a difference now. The cave was our base, where we wrecked, smuggled and stored the loot. The entrance is through the ruins over yonder. For all the good it'll do you. Might be swarming with void woken by now. Kind words. But there ain't none that'll undo what we saw. Most we can hope for now is some peace in the Hall of Echoes.
Pray speak.
Better tread softly. Somebody's in that cave.
Someone's out.
I seem to remember this being a rather difficult persuasion check.
Shh! Hold your keep on walking, bud. You got moss for ears. Scram!
The face of a dwarf appears from the shadows. You notice a couple of fresh scratches on his cheek, partially hidden by a thick beard.
You got a problem with simple instructions, friend. Leave. Now! You want to make chit-chat?
The world's burning and you're asking about the weather. Ah, fine, if it'll get you out of me hair. The name's Warren. Now, how's about you, Scarper? Help? I know exactly do you think you're helping. Me mates outside are beyond help, and you're doing no one any favours by calling attention to us in here. Ah, fine. But you can't blame us all for being cautious. You didn't see what it was like. There was blood and bodies everywhere. I were looking for mushrooms when I heard the shouts. Ran out as fast as I could, but I took a tumble. The crew was fighting amongst themselves, tearing each other apart. They had these pitch-black eyes and fought like demons. Hell, maybe they were demons. I only managed to drag Valine in here before the bloody Void Woken turned up to finish the job. I've never seen such slaughter. Best we could do was save ourselves and try to report back to Driftwood. Lohar's got to know about this. How about you talk some sense? Those Void Woken are monsters! If you think you're marching us to our deaths, you've another thing coming, bud. God's blood. Fine, if you insist on racing to the Hall of Echoes. The cove's guarded by those old ruins below. You'll need to get through them before you can get in. Me and Valine will seek into the ruins and wait. If you start a scrap, we'll have you back. We'll see you in the cave. It'll be bloody. We'll see you in the cave.
Okay.
It'll be bloody.
That just gets us some help there.
Look out! I see a trap nearby. Say I told you so.
The dwarves do not...
Buzz back to your dump.
Say I told you so.
You bite at us no longer.
Barely can with both of them. That's annoying.
wriggling little worms.
A little rude.
You wriggling little worms.
They look like Lohar's crew, but did you see their eyes?
Indeed. As black as obsidian.
You recall the eyes of the dwarves, black until death, when they faded to normal.
The air here is heavy, like the deserts before a storm. Let us watch for thunderclouds.
The dwarf rocks back and forth, staring at nothing.
That can't have been real. Those monsters bursting out from the ground, it was just a dream. It had to be a dream.
No, this ain't right. I was on duty in the cave. I was on patrol and I was alive. This ain't right. None of this is right.
The spirit traces runes in the air. You recognize the gesture. It's the same one you perform when gifting others with your blessing. Your blessing leaves you as a stream and returns to you as a river. You see through the woman's eyes. You feel the discomfort of a source collar as you tug at it. Then, a clatter and a shriek. A winged Voidwoken has grasped you in its talons. It takes you to the air as you flail impotently. The Voidwoken continues its journey for hours, perhaps days. You watch as familiar land and sea pass under you until the creature slows. The talons open, first air and wind, then a thud. Blackness. Light. You peer through the fog to see two dwarves, eyes as black as coals. They are dragging you through grass and stone. Perfect bait. The master will be pleased, drones one of them. The blessing fades. The spirit's hands are stilled. She looks to the sky, searching, then lowers her head and flashes the tiniest of smiles.
Sorcerers. They brought in sorcerers? I can't remember. I can't remember why. I can't remember who. That voice.
Look out! I see a trap nearby.
There was something in the ground. Back in the cave,
The dwarf bangs his palm against his head.
Damn it! I can't think.
Oh yeah, I remember you.
Here lies Patrick, prophet. He perished in this place, predicting the downfall of Brachus Rex. Burned alive. Sounds hot.
By the scales of my kin, these torches will not hold a flame.
He's not gonna like me very much for this, but... do the quest!
What's happening to the shrine? This place is well tended. The locals seem to think highly of him.
As the torches around you flicker and crack to life, you hear a low groan. It starts soft, then crescendos until your chest rattles and your head buzzes.
Brachus Rex! Gods damn you to this hell in which I suffer! Gods damn these burning flames! My blood boils in on death, yet you don't know my name! The indignity fans the flames! You've summoned the great prophet Patrick! I knew Brachus and knew his secrets. I saw his rise and fall as woven into the tapestry of time. He branded my truth as blasphemy, and I burn for it. Volumes. But the prophecies are meant for divine... Wait. You. It's you! I see it. You too follow a path consumed by fire. You must take my gift from among the flames. With it, you will know truth. With it, you can... Brachus!
The rumble reaches a deafening forte, then dissipates. The voice is gone. Only the whisper of the wind fills your ears.
Oh yeah, the lamp as well.
Lying at your feet is a strange lamp of ancient design. Spots of gold shimmer through the thick grime that coats it. As you hunker down for a closer look, the lamp jerks slightly, almost imperceptibly. The lamp feels strangely hot to your touch. As you wipe away the years of dirt and grime, it trembles in your hand. Heavy smoke spills out of the spout of the lamp, falling to your feet, where it flows away from you. The vapor arches into the air and starts to take shape before you.
Who summons what? One of you?
His face twists into a sneer and he flexes his claws.
What's wrong, Godwoken? Did the Seven turn you down too? Or are you here seeking even more power? I should strike you down where you stand, God-taint. Because it would be a kindness. I've known the power you feel, the promises you were made. I too was named Godwoken once. My God gave it all. Power, glory, hope. It was intoxicating. Until she took it away.
Deep inside, you can feel your god stirring. It's recoiling, revolted. No wonder Zor's Stissa turned this one away.
Unworthy, she said. Unworthy to be divine. So she gave it to another. What kind of a monster gives you that power only to strip it from you? To promise you will be the light of the world and then cast you into darkness? There was so much wrong with the world. So much that I needed to fix. So I sought power elsewhere. The Void said I could have eternal power. That I could be the light of the world. And it delivered. I have power unlike any Godwoken. Even if I lack my freedom. It laughed as I was sealed away in that lamp. Be the light of the world, Godwoken, it said. Even so, it was more honest than your hellish Seven. Understand it or don't. I'm not here for pity from some god's plaything. And I'm certainly not here to hand it my power. You and your gods are a blight upon this world. I would rid the world of your corruption, not help you spread it.
You see the rage in the Djinn's eyes fade a little. He flexes his claws as he thinks over what you've said.
Perhaps you're right. I have spent so long locked away with nothing but anger for company. Very well, Godwoken. Tell me, what do you wish for? Do you wish for power, wealth, knowledge, or to see your enemies gone? That not even I can do. Though I do wish you the utmost luck with that particular problem. You will need it dearly. Choose again, Godwoken. A hungry mind. Very well. Let's find us something to feed it. There are as many ideas in the world as grains of sand on the beach. But I think you will find this one especially intriguing. You have had your wish, Godwoken. We are done here.
That's it. Just arrow spray, skill pick. Well, it's better than I got the first time. On the first playthrough.
Yes.
Careful now. That's a trap.
Okay, still got this fight here, which can be a little annoying.
Ah, a creepy ruin. What could go wrong? Were they talking to that Void Woken? He was killed quite mercilessly by a young companion, a trader. The young man wanted to seize his business.
The woods have grown chilly now that the sun has set. Annie shuffles across the picnic blanket and huddles against you for warmth. You wrap one arm around her and with the other conjure a little ball of flame in your palm. Little more than a party trick, but her eyes fill with wonder nonetheless. It's so pretty, she says, resting her head against your shoulder. I don't care what they say, what you have is a gift. She inclines her face up towards yours, lips parted slightly. You lean into her, closing your eyes. The ground drifts by hundreds of feet below you. Droplets of your blood fall away from you into space. You don't feel any pain, only a numbing cold. Your senses are fading. All you can hear is the beating of the Voidwoken's wings and the beating of your own heart, only your heart is slowing. The Voidwoken seems to sense that you won't make it. It unleashes an outraged screech, then releases you from its grasp. The ground rushes up to meet you. You close your eyes.
I don't know what that statue's doing, but it doesn't look good.
Be pleased.
Couldn't remember if there was dialogue or not, but obviously not. Oh hey. That's actually going to be a huge help.
done here? If you want me, I'll be in Driftwood, toasting my fallen brothers and sisters.
Yeah, it was actually a great help in that fight. On my first playthrough, I had a fairly tough run of it, largely because of those arbalists up top.
Done with these hills, done with void walking, and done with whatever rotten magic took my friends. I need a drink.
The fuck? That was weird. This was just talking to a random dwarf who seemed to be in the Under Tavern of Driftwood.
This body is fresh. Were they a sorcerer?
The spirit of the dwarven battle mage gazes upon the mutilated body that once housed her. As you approach, she turns confused eyes on you. She stares uncomprehendingly at your outstretched hand, slowly raising a bewildered gaze to meet your eyes. She stares, and you feel yourself drawn into the mesmerizing source pools of her eyes. With a jolt, her life flashes before your eyes. You become her in her prime, battling a felled magister in a deserted clearing. Electricity crackles from your fingers as you advance upon the Magister. The Magister is part of something dark, something cruel, something that goes against the very fabric of your being. All bets are off. Merciless, you attack her with spell and blade. As her warm blood spurts to cover your face, you are sated. A satiety you would never speak of, a satiety that momentarily fills the emptiness within you. Wait, who are you? You can't remember. You are thrust out of the spirit's memories and back into your own sovereign mind. You see the spirit of the dwarven battle mage before you, eyes downcast now.
Look out! I see a trap nearby.
Look out! I see a trap nearby.
Careful. That looks dangerous. But maybe I can disarm it.
Where the hell are you going? Oh. Didn't actually realize that was a claimable.
That's a trap.
The spirit looks out to sea, then to the fire roaring behind him, and whistles.
Ooh-wee. Pretty cunning of them, don't you think? Light the fire and draw 'em in. And an effective one, too. Lohar's dwarves light it, ship's captains follow it, and sploosh, the cargo spilled all over the rocks, ripe for picking. Saw a big un go down just the other day. Dare say those wreckers are drowning in contraband. No wonder Top Brass figured something was up. Turns out the folks round Reaper's Cove don't take too kindly to Magisters sneaking about, especially not the dwarven kind. One of them was here tending to the fire, got me 'fore I got him. I'm a Magister, all right. Well, I was. But yeah, dwarf Magisters are as rare as a three-eyed imp. But when you're hard up, well, sometimes you gotta make choices. Oh, that's mighty kind of you. Can't very well do it myself. Well, you probably guessed that. I'm thankful, friend. Blessings on your kin, and your kin's kin.
Just kidding.
Look out! Careful now. That's a trap. What's this? I found something.
Ow, I just figured out. So the reason Red Prince was in conversation with the female dwarf in the Under Tavern, that was the girl that came with, like, the mage that came to help us alongside the rogue. So while the rogue one was in conversation with Lohse, the mage entered conversation with Red Prince, but then they were both scheduled to leave. So she just teleported, while still in conversation with Prince, to the Under Tavern, but didn't break conversation.
The spirit tugs and tugs at the source collar around his neck, though it budges not an inch.
We couldn't. I couldn't. Is it really our fault? The Void Woken.
He gives you a look full of hope, then remembers the collar round his neck and slumps forward, letting his hands hang heavy by his sides.
Wait a minute, was it here? I'm sure I remember seeing that there was like an achievement or something for... for like destroying all of the Void Woken eggs in an area. I forget if it was Wrecker's Cove. find it here. Was there no one? I don't see it in this list, but I could have sworn it was there. Oh, wait, here it is. Destroy every Voidwoken egg in Reaper's Cove. Wonder if there's anything more specific than that, or if it's just every single thing in Act 2. If so, I don't know if I've missed any. Alright, we'll just try and make it. Where's my phone? I'll just try and make an effort to destroy any I come across.
Looks like this is Lohar's place, or what's left of it. Could Mordus have...
The trembling of the dwarven spirit tells you the halberd in his hands may not be enough to withstand his unseen enemy. He glances behind him, searching for an escape. He drops the halberd and bolts behind some nearby rocks.
Divine, save me! I don't want to die, please! I don't want to die! I don't want to die!
The spirit screams and screams as something unseen tears into him. A dwarven spirit cowers on the ground, trapped in the fear of her final moments.
No, please! Help! Someone! Help!
She cringes at the name and turns to you urgent.
No! Not Mordus!
With growing horror, she turns her focus on something unseen, looming high above her.
There's a Voidwoken on the bridge ahead. But where's...
A frantic dwarf knocks an arrow to a phantom bow. He lets it fly at some towering, invisible horror, visible only in his mind's eye. He reaches for another arrow.
Keep firing, damn you! He has to have a weak spot. He has to.
The ghostly dwarf ignores you, but the word Mordus forms soundlessly upon his lips. He drops his bow and yanks his sword from its sheath.
Come on, you filth! Let's see what your insides look like!
There's nothing there.
Good gods! What happened?
The dwarf rocks on her haunches, gnawing at her own bloody knuckles. Her wet, fearful eyes flick to you. She lowers her fist just enough to hiss a warning.
Away! Away! Too noisy! It'll come back! It'll take me too!
She shrinks into the fetal position.
It'll come back! It'll come back! It'll come back! It'll come back! And we'll all be eaten alive! Get away from me! You're already dead! You're eaten alive! Eaten alive! Get away from me!
She clamps her hands over her ears and shuts her eyes. She rocks back and forth, deaf to your words. The dwarf remains huddled. Her gaze falls on you, a glimmer of awareness. She raises her hand as a greeting, or as a warning. The spirit takes a deep breath and bellows silently. A distant cry echoes along the cavern.
Run!
I don't know what that Death of the Forests is, or where it is, or how to get there. But it's down there somewhere. I don't recall the name of that. Well, I found a single forum thread about Death of the Forests, just mentioning that they saw it from a certain point, very far underground. Well, if you use teleport, it shows you the outline of the book, which it does. Didn't see anyone else on the internet ever mentioning it. There appears to be no way to get it. Oh.
sorcerer. Still wearing the collar, too.
Is this where the flying Voidwoken took those poor souls from the beach?
Don't remember what triggers them to pop up and attack.
What are you doing? They're close. I can feel them. Run. For the love of the seven, run. There's no time. Run, you idiot. Run!
Oh yeah, there's also that chest in there that was exceedingly difficult to get to. Okay, I have basically one chance.
Glory is mine.
Oh god. There is absolutely no way in hell. I am CCing these guys before I get kidnapped. Oh, and you're just immune to, or nearly immune to water damage and air. God. So are you. Yeah. Fucked.
Stop it, that tickles!
Get your damn dirty claws off!
Where the hell did they go? Well, we won't find them. Where am I? I wonder where the others might be.
Here.
They fed me to their young. They chewed on my flesh as I screamed. They ate my flesh, and they want more. They want my sauce. I've seen them sucking up ghosts, swallowing them whole. They cannot be stopped. They cannot be destroyed. Mortis? I heard that name on the lips of the dwarves. They screamed it as they killed each other.
Oh god, why? Right, you protect yourself like that.
Prepare.
Oh wait, they fly. Oh god, please no, don't hurt me. figured that happened, but... Jesus fucking Christ. Please don't hurt me.
Almost got me that time.
God, you're so dead. You're decaying, so I can't really heal you. Really? You could run all of that way and you still... I also apparently didn't charge your Idol of Rebirth, so that's... a nightmare. Oh. not entirely convinced
Am
I'm even at a good level to be doing this at.
I wonder where the others might be.
They fed me to the ate. I've seen them more.
Okay, so unfortunately the two elements that we use happen to be the two he's most resistant to. Fire and earth. That really still did almost nothing. Help. Help. What the fuck am I supposed to do about this? Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to come back to this after. Maybe once I'm level 12. Here's a slight chance.
Prepare yourself.
Oh, come the fuck on. You have got to be fucking kidding me. I'm gonna have to rely on that suffocating aura. To strip down the big Void Woken's magic armor.
Where am I? I wonder where the others might be.
Also, make sure to fix that. Don't have any more empty grenades, do I, for another main maggot grenade? this works in stripping down the magic armor of the vampiric ones. Where's the other vampiric blood? There it is. Why is the one in there not? Kinda hoping for that other vampire Void to come over so I could strip its magic armor down and charm it alongside the other. Oh, god damn it. Oh, now it starts moving, huh? Holy shit, the luckiest block on Earth. Real annoying. Also real annoying. Wait, why did that not hit the vampiric void walk? Wanted to be able to get both those at once, but I guess that's just not happening. course, it's immune to both chilled and frozen, isn't it? Chilled and shocked, so I can't crowd control it. My only option is to try and decay it, then heal it to death. But we're all dead, so it doesn't really matter anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come back once I'm level, like, 12 or something. 12 or 13. That fight was so much easier first time round with 2 physical damage types. So we were able to just keep that Void Walking knocked down the entire time. Point the hell out.
Good thing you had me for that fight out there, bud. I'll not be letting you forget it anytime soon.
Glad you're still alive after our little adventure out there in the hills. What am I? Leave me alone. Keeping it together, Reed.
Buying or selling?
You're safe among friends. Never mind.
How you holding up? Not in any mood to talk about it.
You're safe among friends. Never forget.
Queen Justinia executes 2 dozen noblemen for insubordination.
You sought escape, but something stalked you. You fled. An ancient memory overwhelms you. You are no longer. You watch a figure stride through a cavern of amethyst and rose quartz. A man. The man approaches a pearl sphere atop a pedestal, and you are thrust back into reality. You lose yourself in an ancient vision. Various shades of grey swirl across the globes. The 8 of you rush forth as shadows, past the globe, the vision ends just as you emerge from the cavern. You turn away from the sunset. Your hands fly up to... You didn't think he had... You fall into another memory. Surrounding the lake is a throng of the mob. Drops. The past fades. You keep your eyes shut tight. All around you is a cacophony of waves. A loud, inhuman... You tried to run. Your source... You tried to make a break for it. From... You shift uncomfortably as you sigh and gaze, but then you see something flying close. Your eyes widen. You feel a tidal wave of panic drown you.
Buying or selling?
Back for a return visit, are you?
Yep.
I'm all right.
There we go.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
These grenades and scrolls are starting to get a little heavy.
Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Alrighty, let's go check out the Paladin checkpoint. So we need to go there for the Red Prince's
Hell no. You know what Raymond would do if he caught us?
story.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a wrap.
The shimmering ghost of a lizard magister turns her gaze upon you. She holds your stare, boring into your mind, searching the blacks of your eyes for the secrets of your soul. But in so doing, she shows you hers. You are Zeushan, a young lizard magister, devoted to the Order. More than this, you are in love with a comrade, a human man of wit and kindness and sweet disposition, who goes by the name of Boris. You are Zeushan once more. Alexander dies. Worse, your human comrades look at you askance, as if his murder was your fault. Even Boris turns against you. When he's posted to Fort Joy, he does not say goodbye. Your heart is broken. Posted to the graveyard shift in the dark of night on the outskirts of town, you do your duty diligently. But your heart is no longer in it. So when you catch a couple of young sorcerers fleeing Raymond's net, you see how deeply in love they are. You do not turn them in. You help them to escape. But in the morning, they are caught and under torture give you up. They go to Fort Joy. You are hanged right here.
I bet you're the musical sort. You've thought about taking up the lute. I got a few ready to go, all freshly strung. Oh, wonderful. It's like I always said. Everyone's got a melody in 'em. You just gotta look. My brother Laszlo couldn't carry a tune in a bucket when he was a wee thing. Now, he's got the voice of an angel. He's all right then, yeah? That's Laszlo, all right. If he had the blues, you'd never know it. Nothing kept his big smile from brightening the darkness. I hate the Magisters for what they'd done. Stole me brother. Stole me heart. I keep going though, hoping to get to Ark sooner than later. Lucian's day crowds will be wanting some musical trifles. Useful? Ah, you mean deadly. Used to make bows and fletch arrows, but left that hobby behind. There's no shortage of suffering, that's for sure. Maybe I could do me part to help your efforts. Come back later then. I need a bit of time to carve something useful. Hello? Use the best wood I can find. Good rosewood ain't too common, but lutes made from it croon like songbirds. I like playing too, though my brother Laszlo was the real talent. Duets with him brought out the best in me. Anything else you want to chat about?
Buy your lutes.
Same to you.
No, with Laszlo's lute, she actually played a song. How about this? No? Really? God damn. Well, it's useless then. I was hoping to get another wee song.
Up ahead, paladins, the famous divine protectors of Arks. I wonder what they're doing here so far from home.
Who goes there? Ha! If you're looking for adventure, east's the way to go. It's a void-woken hellhole over there. Sorcerer at work. Powerful one. Of course, you could wait for the Magisters to sort them out. You'll be waiting. Holding the fort like we always do. Usually the fort in question is bigger than this one, but you do the job in front of you, don't you? Seems someone high up doesn't trust the Magisters to do their jobs out there. What should you expect beyond the bridge? Expect sorcery of the highest order. Expect Voidwoken, bigger and badder than you've ever seen. Expect the void. Expect to die. Go on through, adventurer. We won't stop you.
I just got a message. Ah, okay. Nothing I need to deal with right away.
If I were you, I wouldn't. You look tough, but you ain't tough enough. East'll be your funeral. The rolling pastures of Paradise Downs ain't paradisical no more.
You've hit a nerve. He looks away.
Ain't none of your business why I'm still here.
He can't look you in the eye.
I left my girl out there, alright? Sally and me got split up, and I said we'd meet up here. And I ain't going back out there looking for her. You can judge me all you want. I ain't ashamed. She'll do better with an ordinary man with flaws than a dead hero with none. You ain't seen it out there. You'll find your own limits quick enough.
He turns away.
By Lucian's sword, we meet again. Would that circumstances were better here than in Fort Joy. But they're not. Voidwoken lie in wait beyond the bridge.
Seems like the only work these days is in fixing weapons. This will, happy to. Some of that stuff's not bad, friend. It's a little better now, if I say so myself. Good luck to you.
If you're looking to fight, I can use the help. If you're looking to chat...
As you're about to address the paladin, the Red Prince interrupts and asks him if he's seen a lizard matching Bramus's description. The paladin says that indeed he did, but that Bramus left in a hurry when a band of rather intimidating-looking lizards showed up. One of the scouts saw him heading south in the direction of the graveyard. That's all he knows.
Right. I have the information I came for. He's all yours now.
A senior paladin sits hunched over a tattered map. He registers your presence, sits back in his chair, taps his fingers on the map.
Who are you, and who sent you?
He appraises you with a look, then grimly grins.
I think I've heard about you. Didn't you free the Meister from the gallows in Driftwood? Then I may well have a job for you, if you're interested.
He taps a finger on the map on the table.
Here, in the Black Pits, are White Magisters. Their operation is shrouded in mystery, and this pricks our ears. We are gravely concerned. We believe the White Magisters may have strayed into the darkness. We suspect that Dallas herself and her master Vriedemann are the inspiration for these dark endeavors. Look under the white veil of secrecy and report back. How much do you want? I have fewer paladins to pay, so I have ready gold. But there are limits. You think very highly of yourself indeed. We have a deal.
He offers you an item. A whistle-like device sits nestled in your hand.
When you're ready, send a war owl. Be careful out there. It's a dangerous place these days. And I'd like to think I'll hear from you again. And, adventurer...
He looks you in the eye.
Don't get caught.
I'll try.
He looks up from his map.
I notice.
A weary paladin strips equipment from the bodies of the dead, singing softly to himself. He looks you up and down, then nods a greeting.
Oh, pity you just arrived. We could have used adventurers like you in that last fight. We're short-handed, deserters, if you can believe that. Abandoned their post and wandered off into the wastelands. Left their friends here to die. It's shameful.
He grabs you by the shoulder and forces you to look at the bodies at his feet.
See that, adventurer? That's Lord Godfrey and Guy Falchard. They were my friends. their friends too. Fortimer, Gale, Adlard, and Job. These 4 paladins left their posts, and now their friends are dead. You are loyal, or you aren't. And if you aren't, then people die. Friends die. See the captain if you will, adventurer. Maybe he'll put some work your way. You can follow your own path all you wish.
The spirit mouths the words to a morning song. If you listen carefully, you can hear her whisper.
I shall not mourn till war is done. I shall not weep while blood still runs. I'll hold my tears when weeping comes, and I'll avenge my darling one.
She turns back to her fallen self once more, her eyes glistening. The spirit.
I shall not mourn till war.
Softly you sing. I'll hold my tears when weeping comes. She registers your presence and gives you the sweetest smile.
And I'll avenge my darling one.
She turns back to her fallen.
I'll hold my tears when weeping comes. Who shall avenge you, darling one? Move along.
Alright, you know what? I absolutely starving. It's only been a few hours. I normally keep the Divinity streams going for far too long. But we're gonna... Princess looking fancy. We're gonna just stop there for now. If I go any longer without food, I'm gonna die. I think I'll be away eating for a little too long to just leave it paused or anything. So once I've had some food and got all that sorted out, I'll see what happens. I might come back to continue a little longer. Or I might come back with a stream of something else, I'm not quite sure. Just gonna have to play it by ear, see how it goes. But yeah, so if I'm not back later today, then I will be back tomorrow at 12 PM GMT with some more Dead Cells. Last session we, again, didn't do that well, but we did have one run that looked pretty promising. We made it into the Sepulchre and I just messed up and died to a curse while I was in there. But yeah, that run proved that we can make it pretty far. It was only a little more to the hand. So hopefully we'll be able to pull off something even more fantastic next time. So yeah, for now, thank you very much for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed your stay, and I'll catch you next time.